Sorry. So shall I start, Arun sir?
Yes, I'm putting. All right.
Okay.
Start. I'm back.
Okay. So I will start. So very good afternoon to all of you, and good morning to Aaron sir. I think it's morning there in the Kenya.
Yes, you can start. You can start.
Yes. So this is the sixth day of our Industry Academia Imminent Lecture Week. So I feel very fortunate to be standing here today to introduce today's guest who are with us, Dr. Aaron Oirere. In fact, I have spent a lot of time with him, and I want to tell you all a little bit about that. So during 2010-11, while I was doing my research for my PhD, a foreign African man approached to my supervisor, my guide. So I was very happy because I had the opportunity to work with a foreigner. We worked together for 3 to 4 years, but I don't know how that years went. I will never forget the time we spent together. So, in addition to research, I learned lot of things from this foreign man. Such a person is our guest today, Dr. Aaron, who is working as a director at the Department of Computer Science, School of Computing and Information Technology, Murang University of Technology, which is a reputed university in Kenya. Dr. Aaron has completed his graduation BSc in Kenya, and he has completed his post graduation in Tamil Nadu, and his PhD in Aurangabad in India. Apart from India, he has visited many countries and studied a lot of things. His research topic is human computer interactions, and he has done a lot of research for his Swahili language in the development of automatic speech recognition. Also, he is credited with the developing the very first unique ever Swahili language speech and text corpus. That is nothing but it is a database. So this is the person definitely will get benefited from. So I know you are all eager to hear Aaron sir. Even I am. So without wasting too much of time, I request Dr. Aaron sir to guide our students. And one more thing I want to tell you, Aaron sir, we have foreign students,
Yes.
and which are from the African country Burundi from last 3 years. Pursuing their graduation, and this
Okay.
year also we have one student who
Hello.
has taken the admission, and I understand that
Hello.
this is a matter of pride for us. So over to you, sir. Over to you. Now you can start.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Uh, when Dr. Wagmare told me about this, I was excited and I said, I'll be glad to talk to you. Personally, as he has said, I'm Dr. Aaron Mogeni Oirere. I come from Kenya. I did my studies in India, that is from my undergraduate to my PhD. With that, we were at some point, we were together with Dr. Wagmare, and he finished slightly earlier than me. Now, I don't want to take much time about that, and I'm sure with the little time we'll have, we will interact. And being on a weekend, I'll be talking to you from home. Uh, after my high school, I joined the campus as you are, and I know this is your prime time. So if you not utilize this time well, I'm sure you will not be able to recover. No, time is money, time is everything. And when I talk about prime time, Prime time is the time you can build yourself. You are very energetic, like the way I did. And I finished my PhD at 29. So I know even you guys, you can make it. The thing that I did was I didn't have much breaks in between my studies, and I was able to finish. That's one thing that I can encourage you, and I can tell you that it will help you so much. Now I want to talk about job opportunity abroad, and also we have some of our students from Africa who are studying there. If it were not because that this education is recognized worldwide,
त्याला काय फोन वगैरे आला का? Hello, Aaron sir, you are not audible. I think there may be some problem is there. Maybe some internet problem is there on your side. Yes, 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 yes. Okay.
But I think right now I'm audible.
Yes, 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 yes.
And you can also be able to see me. So what I was trying to say is that there is a beauty of doing the course you're doing. And besides that, I was trying to say that this degree that you have, it is recognized worldwide. It's not only recognized in India. Like I did my study there, and I'm currently working as a lecturer, as the head of department, and many other things. And at the same time, I'm also into research. So the one thing that I want to emphasize is about the course you're doing. Second thing, I want to talk about the prime time that you are in right now in the university. There are many people who wanted to be in the university, but currently they are not. So when I talk about that, I want to tell that time is very important entity in life. Because if you don't utilize your time well, you realize that this one will affect even your future plans. So, and those two things are key. Now, I want to talk again about the area of interest. Area of interest. I'm sure most of you have many areas of interest. Some would say networking, some would say human computer interaction, the way I am, some would go into programming, and many other things. I don't want to talk about that. We have so many things that are happening right now. The likes of artificial intelligence, business intelligence, we have things to do with data management, data science. There are so many things. But I'm not going to talk into those details. But my point is this. Right now, I believe most of you are doing undergraduate, some of you are doing masters, some of you might be doing PhD or something like that, or whatever level that you are. Maybe even some might be also be in a diploma or things like that. But whatever level you are, main thing is you have to identify your area of interest. Your area of interest is very key because if suppose you will not identify your area of interest at this time, it becomes an issue. Again, at the same time, there are things that I want also to emphasize on. We need to put also God first in everything that we do. Because many a times you realize that your things may not go well if you're not putting God first. Like myself, I want to give my personal testimony. I left my country, I came to India. Initially, I knew very few people there. But one thing that helped me is when I was putting God first in everything that I was doing. And at the same time, I have to cope up with people. I know most of you, some of you feel like we are coming from rich family, we have all things that maybe we need in life, so why do I need to interact with people? But I want to tell you today that the way you interact with people is very important. Now, if suppose myself we were not in good terms with your lecturer there, that is Dr. Wagmare, then we could not be talking right now. He could not request me. I could not tell him, how things are happening in this other side of the world. He could, Lele, just excuse me, endo kuacha kupiga kelele niko kwa meeting. All right, sorry for that. One thing that I want to tell you is that network is important. Talking to people is very important. Aiming high in life is very important. So I've talked about the prime age, the time that you are in. Now you're doing your studies. Don't take it lightly. Second thing, your degree that you have is recognized worldwide. So that's the second thing. So once you finish your studies, and whoever will finish and would want to come and work in Kenya, talk to me. We can see what to do. Not only in Kenya alone, people can work even in America, people can work in England, people can work anywhere in this world. So long as you have your degrees, you did it well, because one thing that is required is they have to confirm whether your degree is right or wrong. So always be genuine, be truthful in anything that you're doing. Another thing is that area of interest, and that's where I want to emphasize so much. And because I'm talking out of an experience, when I was doing my degree, there are many things that I was not understanding very well. And with that, I used to ask myself a lot of questions. When will I ever understand these things? So I kept on searching and researching and researching and trying to study more, because if you depend only on what your lecturer gives you, it will not be enough always, because we are constrained with time. We are constrained with many other things. Like for example, if I give you an example of programming, you just go to class and try to maybe code a little bit with whatever your lecturer will give you. That will never be enough. You cannot be an expert in whatever language. So what you need more, you need to go out of your way, learn more, practice more, and by so doing, you will understand better. So my request, my advice is that you need to do extra from what your lecturer do give you, or from what you are just doing to do your exams. That one cannot make you an expert. Now, with that, if you be able to understand better in areas of your the area of interest, then inquire more. Ask your lecturer, I want to understand this thing better. How should I go about it? You have library, you have internet. I believe your college is able to give you internet, sufficient internet. If not, you can buy bundles, you can organize on how you can get internet. Then, with that, if by undergraduate you will be able to understand your area of interest, even by the time you start pursuing your masters, it will be very best. It will be the best thing to do. Now, later, you see, like for example, myself right now, I'm into academics, I'm into research, and there are many things that you can do. Why? Because I know my area of interest and I have that passion to do it. So I can go and teach. Beside that, I can do some job outside there and be paid. And at the same time, consultants is very important because you cannot go into consultants if you are not understanding your area of research. So as you are in the college, you are in the best place to acquire knowledge. So acquiring knowledge is not only by doing exams. No. Acquiring knowledge is in many ways that you can do to acquire this knowledge. One is by the area, interacting and gathering more information about anything that you want to do. For example, currently, the whole world is experiencing issues to do with data. And that's why we have an area known as big data management. For example, if I may ask you, I'm sure most of you are into social media, you are into WhatsApp, you are into Twitter, and all those things. Now, you can realize that many people have interests to do with the data that are into all these social media. And in that context, for them to get the right information, we can play a role. I'm sure you've heard of data mining and the like. There another area which is I could want to bring into your notice. If you don't know it, that is what known as information retrieval or web searching. So in that context, you realize that the data is unstructured. So when the data is unstructured, this data need to be structured. And the point is you have to mine the right information, you have to process it, and then you have to give to the interested parties. Like for example, there are very many online marketing. So this online marketing, there is some data they need. And I don't know whether you know this. There are people, so many people who are earning a lot of money into YouTube and the likes. How? Because they are able to give information. So in whatever way that you can come up with your channel and give information, you'll be paid for having traffic, people to listen to what you're doing. So in other words, in simple words, data is important. Knowledge is important. Information is important. Like for example, I've been told that there are some foreign students over there, I don't know, from Burundi. How did they know that they can come to, well, they can come to India and do their studies over there? In simple words, what I'm trying to say is that they were able to look for information. And when they were able to get information, they were able to make a decision, appropriate decision, through websites, to do many things. And when all these things comes to place, they help so much in processing data. I don't want to talk about data, information, and knowledge, but in simple words, we are in existence, or we are into our profession to process data, to make data flow. Because if you talk of anything that you're doing, be it programming, be it networking, be it whatever, artificial intelligence, robotics, and all those things, you realize that our focus is to process data. We are into all the field. I can say that our area touches everything. If you talk of kitchen, we are there. If you talk of mechanics, we are there. We talk of anything, engineering, aerobotics, and all those things, we are there. So in other words, we need to perfect and we need to know how to go about things. We just need to be smart. Me, I can tell you the main thing in this world, we need to be smart. Of course, you can be very hardworking, but at the end of the day, you realize somebody else is making a lot of money. Very simple. And yourself, yes, you are very hardworking, but are you getting anything in return? So, in other words, anything that you do, we have to be smart. Even in class, even in class. Well, you realize that you are good in one subject, you're not good in another subject. So what are you supposed to do? You need to put more energy in the unit that you're not doing well. And then you can manage yourself on the unit that you're doing well. So balancing things is very important in life. I know some of you may want to get their life partner within the campus. Well, you can even get life partner outside the world, outside your country and all that. But the thing is, are you comfortable? Are you comfortable with what you're doing? Do you know this person? So my concentration is, again, in simple words, be smart in everything that you do. So the same way that I can tell you is that probably your parent is paying your fees. Some of you maybe are paying fees for yourself. Some of you, the government is paying fees for you. But in one way or the other, this thing will not continue for lifetime. Maybe it will be for 3 years. Then after that, you need to go look for a job, do your masters, and all that. Or you're doing your masters, you want to move to a PhD. There are scholarships and all that. So try everything before you quit. Some people fear to do things. Like, for example, when I was about to do my PhD, people were saying, will you ever finish PhD in computer science? Oh, that course is very hard. And now, if you follow what people tell you, and you believe that that is the reality, then you will not make a move. Are we together? So, always be confident. Have that self-will. And say that if other people have made it, why not me? All right? So, and again, we will not be into these things forever. We will at some point grow old and come out of the areas that you are working. So if that is the case, then we'll need youngsters to come in and take our positions. All right? So in other words, is that the time you're born, there's a reason why you're born at that time. We were born before you, probably some of us were old, some of us maybe were young. But the point is that in every circumstance, in every stage in life, there is something important that you have to do. I know most of you probably are not married. You are expecting one day, one time you get married, you'll have kids and all that. But before that, what are you doing in order to help you when that time comes? So I'm focusing my talk more into the time that you're in. And I've insisted that this is the prime time. Like, for example, some time back I was thinking, can I still go back to class? Because I'm planning to do my postdoc. And then at some point you find that, oh, you need to take care of the family, you need to do this, you need to do that. So you realize that your things are not working well. But right now you're flexible. You can go anywhere in this world and study. You can do anything. There are many things right now we can do online and get money. But what I'm telling you, don't do wrong things. You can do anything and everything, but so long as it is right. Okay? I cannot tell you go and do some fraud things and all that and you succeed in life. No. I'm not asking you to be a thief. I'm not asking you to steal things online or via various internet platforms. But I'm trying to tell you that if you can do something and earn money genuinely, do it. But put your priorities right. Something else that I want to emphasize is put your priorities right. Market is wide, it's wide. You cannot finish the marketplace. You can't finish it all. But the point is that whatever little you can do, do it. Do it in the right time, do it in the right place, and all in all, time is an essential entity in life. Because when you fail to do something right now, when we on campus, some of the students dropped because they had gotten some job somewhere, they wanted to go and enjoy money, then come back. When they were trying to come back, they realized the money is so sweet. And then when now they want to come back is maybe when they are too old, or, or at the same time is that you realize that there are many other things. You've grown old, you are not thinking of going back to study. And at the end of the day, you realize that you are underqualified. So you cannot maintain that job for long. So there is something we call as job security. Job security is very important. So the higher you go, you have more job security than when you have in the lower level. For example, and I want Dr. Agmare to confirm this, if it's right or wrong. And is doctor, right? He has earned his PhD. Probably with him, there are some other lecturers, maybe with whatever level, and there are other people who are working within the college. So in their job security, which is key, is that the position you're holding, that can give you muscles to stay in that position. But when you think of a super, if suppose there's another person who can do that, then you can be kicked out or she can be kicked out. So job security is very important. But again, I want to emphasize this, that we are not studying to be employed, especially in our areas. We are not studying to be employed. Suppose you are not employed. Are you going to stay home and say now start crying and lamenting that you don't have job? And you need to start thinking on how you can employ yourself and you can earn a living. So my simple advice to all of you is that be smart, think outside the box, and be focused always. From the time you enter the university to the time you exit, be careful, be focused, study well, study hard. There's nothing soft. There's nothing like you can say, oh, it's sent from heaven and you can receive it. No. It's that you need to work hard. And I'm sure there's some students who have failed in one unit or the other. But are we going to continue saying, okay, I have failed, so I cannot pass once again and all that? No. Point is that we need to work hard. We need to disturb our lecturers, tell them that I'm not understanding this, help me understand. So that when you'll pass and have an A or 80%, 90%, or even 100% in whatever unit, it will be in your certificate that you have scored that. But how you scored, nobody will know. It is your hard work. Disturb them. If disturb your lecturers and they'll help you. So I will just conclude by saying this. Of course, I want to give room for question answer session. But I want to emphasize that around 4 things. If you didn't get anything in my talk, is that 1, this is your prime age. 2, there is nothing that comes in a silver platter. Or else, let me start with 1, put God first, always. 2, this is your prime age. this is the time that you can do your best. You can go anywhere in this world and do things that can give you good things. Anyway, give me. Uh, third point is that work hard and know, work hard always. Know your area of interest. Know your area of interest and do more research to understand what can you do better than what you're doing. And think outside the box. Always let not your focus be just within where you are. No. Let your focus be that where do you want to take yourself? Right? Like for example, myself, I knew that I want to finish my studies, my PhD the earliest possible, so that I may go outside in the world and exercise or do my best outside there and help people. Have a willing heart. If another student comes and tells you that I have a problem, help. You know, we cannot be good in everything, because at one point or the other, you will want somebody else to help you. So I believe that with the helping heart, people will also come to your help. So I'm not going to talk much about many areas that are of importance, but I feel that each and every area in IT or in computer science is equally important. But you need to understand. You need to go outside your way and know that what is the application of all these things that you're studying. You see, and within the time that you're on campus, you might not know everything right. You might not know where to apply, because I'm sure you're studying so many units, and these all units you might not apply them all, but you can encounter them along your way. So my simple advice is that remain focused, and reach people who can help you in life. Reach them, talk to them. I'm sure your lecturers are very friendly. You can talk to them and tell them that you have this problem and this problem, even problems in life. You see, I've seen many people committing suicide, and I feel so bad, because whatever reason that they're committing suicide, it's something that can be sorted, because there's nothing under the sun that cannot have a solution. Even if it's the relational issues, even if it's academic that is giving you problems, and all those things. We encountered many problems while we were in campus, and myself, I schooled very far from my parents. My parents were back here in Kenya, and I was studying in India, where I was alone over there, as much as I had my sisters, as well as my brother. At some point he joined me. But we had to stand firm, as much as sometimes we could encounter problems. We could stand on our feet. I'm in a meeting. We stand. Can we get such a things will help you in achieving your goals comfortably. All right. So with that, I will stop at that point. I'm sure probably I will add some things, but I wanted to know, you are students. What best or what do you want to know from us that we've come out of the campus, we are employed, and what do you want to know from me personally? because maybe I have a different experience from the other. So I don't know, the coordinator, Dr. Murray, are we allowed probably some students to raise some questions here and there, maybe before we conclude?
Yes,
Hello?
yes, students. The discussion is
Yes.
over now. Then,
Um,
if you have any queries, then you can ask.
yes. I'm not getting you well.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Hello. Students, if you have
Yes.
any query, you can ask to Aaron sir.
You can ask or rather write on the chat. If possible, I'm able to access the chat. So you can ask whatever question. Of course, I have some conclusion remarks. Before I do that, maybe you can answer one or two questions because this should be an interactive session.
Hello,
Yes, hello?
Arun sir.
Yes.
As you have completed your BSc in Kenya and you have moved to India for MSc in Tamil Nadu
Mm-hmm.
and you started pursuing your PhD in Aurangabad, what made you to pursue your MSc? What made you pursuing your PhD after MSc? As you could move to any private or you could complete your job. Like what made it that you should make or complete your PhD?
Good. Thank you. A point of correction. I did my undergraduate in India, in Tamil Nadu, and I did masters in Tamil Nadu, and I did my PhD in Aurangabad. One thing that I want to say is important is the point that I said that the degrees that we have, we can work anywhere in this world. That's one of the reasons why I was able to come to India and do that. And another point is India is known as the best IT hub. The whole world is known that. That one you should get it right. Is that, and now that one made me come and study. And the reason why I did my master's immediately and my PhD is to secure job security. Because you see, if you go and work at the level of your undergraduate, you'll be paid little money. And again, you can be chased out of that job anytime. So long as another person comes, there's corruption. So this person maybe is a relative to another person and all that. You realize that you can lose that job anytime, right? So the reason why I did, and again, I also wanted to acquire more knowledge. I have that passion to study and understand things. Because you see, at times, even at the undergraduate level, you realize that you are not getting everything right. So you want to understand more, and that's why it's known as masters. And then PhD, you narrow down to an area of interest, and then you acquire that. So I could say that I have that passion to acquire more knowledge in time. And again, I also wanted not to study when I'm old. Like when I have my family and all that, then I'm going back to college to study. So me, I decided to do all my studies, then married. So, but that is my decision. So I cannot dictate you also to do that. But I could tell you that there is beauty of acquiring knowledge early and have that knowledge within yourself, so that you can go anywhere in this world. You can convince any person and tell that I'm qualified to do this job, and you do it. So I don't know whether I've answered you, Abhishek,
Yes,
but
sir.
that's the point.
No, sir, I got it.
Oh, thank you. Any other questions?
Any question from the students?
Girls.
Girls?
Any question, ask. You see, this is the time when at least you get somebody who's out of campus and at least he has a job. And there are many challenges outside here. But you see, my challenge is not your challenge, or rather, my challenge should not be your challenge. But there are some commonalities. Yes, don't fear to ask. Maybe now a lady can ask. At least now we balance gender.
Students, please ask question because this is the opportunity to talk to Dean of Kenya University. So This is the golden opportunity. Talk to him, ask your questions if any doubt is there.
I can tell you as they are thinking, I've been to Kolapu, so that's where some of my friends were. So where you are, at least I know. But then, just talk. I wish I could be you. I could ask a lot of questions. And
Sure, sir.
there are many things that you have. Yes, Abhishek, maybe, or somebody else. I'm not dictating any. I can see we have so many students. 54. So 54, maybe minus 1 or 2. Maybe myself and the others who are facilitating. Nobody?
Okay, no questions. Yes, I am asking again.
Or maybe they can write something on the chat. If there is not a mass, they might speak. They can write on the chat and they can read and at least
Yes,
respond.
you can type in chat box, students.
Arun sir.
Yes.
Sir, how was your time when you were pursuing your PhD in Aurangabad?
Of course, that question is very general. But what exactly do you want to know about it? Of course, they are difficult time, they are sweet time. But let me talk about, okay, maybe say something.
What are the problems that we faced during pursuing our PhD and what are the pros and cons?
Oh, good. That's wonderful. Number one, I can say that time is essential. Time management was important because the time I entered to the time I finished, I purposed to finish the earliest possible. But challenges were there because I was not previously in Maharashtra, so I didn't know the culture of Maharashtra. I didn't know how people of Maharashtra were behaving. I was more conversant with people from Tamil Nadu. So when I came to Maharashtra, the food, the way to interact was a bit a challenge. But then I met friends like Dr. Agmare, where we could interact and, he could guide me, could tell me, no, don't do this, don't do that, and all that. And with that, I was able to cope up. But at the same time, also, I could say that, when you come from a master's, and you enter into research, you realize that master's is slightly different from research because in PhD is more of research. You have to come up with a proposal, go through your problem statement, understand it very well and all that. And you see, this one you have to learn and relearn. And then the guide will also guide you on one or two things. But you yourself has to do it. You have to sit down, look for a problem statement. Now that's the thing that I was emphasizing on area of interest. Now the area of interest was now understanding what you want to do in this PhD that you're doing. So I could say that the challenge that I had was settling in Maharashtra, understanding how to do PhD, and be able to comply and manage my time well. Because you see, all in all, you're a human being. You need to be yourself. You need to interact with your parents, tell them that this is what I want to do and all that. And then they accept you to do it. And again, talk to them about your challenges. But at the same time is that achieve your goals in time. So my point is I got a good guide. Currently is a professor. But then he was able to guide me well. He could tell me that don't do this, this is right, you've done it well, now move to the next step, and all that. So that's what I was able to do. Yes, I can see Rajashir Shindre. you have something to say?
Sir.
I can see.
One student from BSc 1, she is
Yes.
asking,
Yes.
is
What is
there
the?
is any difference between foreign education and Indian education?
Okay, good. I can. Okay, let me answer that. That is Uganji. I can say that there is not much difference. Why? Because we are following the Commonwealth, that is from England, the one that they colonized us. Huh? The thing is that maybe the difference could be the format, because like ourselves before, we could study from class 1 to class 8, and then from secondary from form 1 to form 4, and then we go to campus. And things are being, we are trying to change here and there, but the point is that the formal education is the same. It's, there might be 2 or 3 different, but if you're talking of science, it's science. When you're talking of agriculture, it's agriculture. When you're talking of English, it's English. The only difference could be our local language. We have a language known as Swahili. But then in India, you find there is Marathi, there is Tamil, there is Gujarati, and the likes. Yeah? So those are the difference. But the content is the same. For example, let me talk of the content of you're studying Java. For example, Java programming is the same. If you're coding, you will code with that. That we are teaching in our country, you are teaching in India and all that. So fundamental level might be slightly different, but when you're moving into degree, masters and all that, we try to do the same thing. That's why if right now, if I have to come there and teach, I can teach because I'm qualified on a particular area. So that's why I say, even if right now you finish your 12th standard, and then you may want to further your studies outside the world, outside the other part of the world, you can do it. You can even come to Kenya and study. It's accepted. You can even go to America and study. It's accepted. So these things they have managed in a way that you can move from one point to the other and pursue. But whatever you're doing, understand it well and be able to do it right. Because when you're told, go do this, are you able to do it? Now that's the most important. Difference is very little, but the commonalities is much. There's a way that it has been standardized all over the world. Yes. I can see some students want to talk. Is it Shindre? Or Shinde?
So, any questions?
Yes.
Students? So, we will move ahead to propose vote of thanks. Good afternoon, all of you. So, first of all, I would like to give my hearty vote of thanks to our resource person, today's guest, Dr. Aaron, for gracing today's seminar. Thank you, sir, for very nice and interesting address. So you advised our students the things such as prime time is very important, which we have to identify and utilize it. World is yours for studying, for job, and you said the most important things: be knowledging, be focused, be punctual, and be every step before quit. So very nice talk, sir. Very well explained. Thank you once again. I would also thank our principal, Dr. R.R. Kumbhar sir, our HOD, Dr. Wabmare sir, for their moral support. I am happy to express a vote of thanks to our staff members, Bujawar sir, Savan madam, Shidde sir, and Sagarda. Finally, I thank the wonderful students who have turned up in such a great numbers, not only from our department, rather also from other departments of the institution. Sir, I want to tell you, our students are listening to different personalities from last 6 days. And it was very nice experience, sir. So thank you students for your cooperation. Thank you once again. And with this, I declare the end of session with permission of chair. So thank you. Thank you.
Welcome so much. And I feel that we may need to create a link between our university and your college, so that our students might interact well and they can get an international feeling.
Okay.
But then we will discuss that one with your COD. And again, we can also help students to understand some areas of interest. I didn't talk about that, but then we can see a way that we can help them so that as they are studying, they can start being focused. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And looking forward to be together in many other activities.
Okay, thank you, sir, once again.
Yes.